Mr. Edit Man presents, what's the worst design flaw you have ever encountered? I had a vacuum cleaner whose motor would exhaust air straight ahead. On hardwood floors, you would have to chase the dust bunnies all around until you snuck up on them in reverse. In my apartment bathroom, the drain in the sink is not placed at the lowest point in the sink. Lived in a house where every time you opened the front door, you'd smash the hallway light bulb. When I bought my house I noticed a light socket over a doorway with no bulb in it, so I put one in. Then I opened the door, which promptly ran right into the light bulb. The cigarette lighters in our company 1998 Kias would projectile eject from the socket when they glowed red hot, would fly about a foot to a foot and a half. The fire escape on my house is made entirely out of wood.
How else could fire escape?
Last year, Kickstarter featured an interesting product, a jellyfish tank. Jellyfish are considered difficult to keep as pets because they require a current through the water that provides oxygen and food. If they get stuck in a corner of the tank that has no current, they'll languish and die. The Kickstarter project solved this problem in a cost-effective way by creating a cylindrical tank. The front and back are flat, and the sides are vertically circular. The bottom of the tank is covered with gravel, and a pump shoots water up through the rocks and at an angle against one of the walls. It creates a constant, circular current that pushes the jellyfish around. It's great in concept. But the initial run of the tank, which they shipped to me and many others, apparently had a design flaw, since the pump has to create a current that circulates all of the water in a 5-gallon tank. It's a comparatively strong. The pump also has an intake that's buried beneath the gravel which creates suction. It's not a lot of suction, but jellyfish are very light. And also very delicate. I discovered all of this about 12 hours after adding 3 jellyfish to the tank. At 9:00 p.m., I walked by the tank and saw 3 happy jellyfish. At 11:00 p.m., I walked by again and found the tank full of shredded tissue. The pump had sucked up all 3 of the jellyfish and turned them into jelly. Giant ducking power adapters that are as wide as 3 ports when plugged in. Seriously? A self-flushing toilet without a backup flushing button, as in, that little black button you can push to make the toilet flush if its sensors did not catch that you have finished your business and stood up. Worse, sensors that trigger whenever you so much as twitch. 7x flushes in one go. Yeah, that saves a lot of water.
Especially if the toilet then splashes your otherwise clean posterior with poo water.
I work for a company that builds fancy, expensive electronics things. On a few designs, the positive and negative voltage cable ports are right next to each other on a certain circuit board. Plugging them in the wrong way blows the board and costs the company thousands a pop. Should the connectors be keyed so they cannot be plugged in wrong? No. That's too complicated. How about color coding the wires? It's cheaper to just use white wire for both. So here we are, wasting thousands on test, rework, and reassembly on a problem that's fixed by spending an extra $5 on the initial assembly.
Type up a report explaining the flaws and explaining how to fix it. One of 2 things will happen. The higher ups will see your good work and it could open up opportunities. Or wrong for some reason but you still made an effort to make the company better and they'll like the effort.
My job is to review our processes, to find shite like this and fix it. It usually works that I find issues, and they start a team to investigate it. Spend a few months investigating, all while continuing to build it the bad way. Then either put a band-aid on the bullet hole and claim victory, or explain that it's a different department's responsibility to fix it and wash their hands of the matter. Or, of course, acknowledge the issue, but find some excuse to not fix it. The small circle toilet bowls. No, I do not want my penis touching the ceramic urine-crusted rim. One of the toilets at work cracked, so plumbers came in and replaced all the toilets. They replaced long bowl toilets with those tiny teacup bowl toilets. Someone managed to squirt feces all over the back of the seat because he could not fit on the tiny seat. The small bowls were promptly exchanged for long bowl toilets. The British K-class submarine. They were steam powered. This meant they needed funnels. A sudden tall wave could put out the boilers and render the boat without propulsion. Diving without remembering to close the funnels could flood the boat. Registering for a website. Your first name must be 4 letters or more. A big ol' middle finger to Bob, Don, Tom, Tim, Sam, etc.
My last name has 2 letters. Online applications are often fun when they complain that my last name is too short. It's not my fault.
There was this umbrella that you attached to your car door in the same way you do with those little flags. It was designed to keep you dry when you're getting out of the car and it's raining. But you could not drive with it attached. Think about that for a second. Ice cube trays that do not bend. My mother's glass top stove. It has touch sensitive control buttons on the cooking surface, which means that if you have a spill or something boils over, you cannot turn the stove off. Our stove has a cleaning cycle that locks the oven door while it is on and has a temperature sensor to keep the door locked until it has cooled down to a safe temperature. All that is normal. The problem comes that you cannot cancel the cleaning cycle once it is active. So if one puts in some food and accidentally hits the cleaning cycle button instead of bake, it locks and is hell-bent on turning your food into charcoal. The one time we derped and hit the wrong thing, we ended up going to the basement and throwing the circuit breaker to kill power to it. Thank goodness it was an electric model. I was staying in a hotel once and the door had been placed so close to the toilet stool that it struck the bowl almost immediately on opening. The owner's solution: cut a large toilet bowl shaped portion out of the door. This was problematic because the lights in the bathroom could not be turned off and they were roughly the same intensity as the sun. My toaster has the power cord coming out on the same side as the controls. This means I cannot hide the cord, otherwise the controls would face away from me and towards the wall. Barbaric. My in-laws teapot. Its spout is slanted in a wrong angle, so you cannot pour tea without spilling a lot. The spout is also geometrically challenged so that you have to tilt the pot so much to pour that the lid slides off. The handle is shaped so that while tilting the pot, your hand will slide up and connect with the hot pot, so the grip is uncomfortable. They have used that pot every time we have been over for the last decade, and they, and we, complain just as much every time. My husband's uncle have now announced that he has bought a new one, hopefully a better one, for the upcoming birthday in October. So hopefully it'll be better next time. Some products are just not user tested. My old spatula was not heat resistant. Time to finally tell this. Dallas World Aquarium had the shittiest toucan cages ever. In 3rd grade, I went on a trip to the Dallas World Aquarium. Beautiful place. Tons of awesome fish, sharks, and method king penguins. However, there was one exhibit that was particularly fascinating to me. The toucans. Why? Because the cages were overhead. My mom, a chaperone, pointed and said, "Reggie, look at that toucan." I looked up in excitement and, at that very moment, one large blob of toucan shite landed in my eye. I guess the architects did not take the fact that toucan shite is affected by gravity into mind when placing the cages above the visitors. My Asus laptop with speakers under it. When a tap faucet is not long enough, so you cannot get your hands under it due to the sink being in the duck-in way of the tap. How the duck am I meant to wash my hands properly? Carpet in a bathroom. Not like locker room type carpet, but long fiber living room carpet in the bathroom wall to wall. Mechanical engineer here. One of the worst designed things I encounter regularly are window air condition units. There are several things wrong with them. They are kept from falling by wedging the window pane over it. Hence the window pane itself becomes a failure mode in the system. The center of mass is outside the window. If the window were to fall, it falls outside rather than inside the room. A falling act has the potential, in both senses of the word, to kill an unsuspecting person underneath. The screws that hold the lip, the guard that is wedged against the window, are usually placed where they undergo shear. Screws are good for compressive/tensile loading, but are much weaker under shear. Basically most window acts are really cantilevering teeth boxes that make rooms cold. Toilet stalls where the door opens inward. Sure, it'll just remove my legs, no problem. Windshield wipers. I have 3 speeds on mine, and no matter what, the rain is always falling at such a rate that one speed is too slow, but the next highest speed is way too fast. Eyelashes are designed to sweep foreign objects away from your eye. They get dislodged and wind up in your eye. 2 urinals at a right angle. Urinals that splash back piss all over me. This is an old design flaw that has been fixed. Hot dogs come in packs of 10. Hot dog buns come in packs of 8. Bright lights on electronics, especially ones that flash. My monitor has this obnoxiously bright blue LED light that flashes when there is no video input, which turns my bedroom into a ducking disco at night. If I forget to turn it off, I also have a blue snowball microphone which has this bright red light. Whenever I'm on the computer I was constantly annoyed by the red light in my peripheral vision. Solution: black electric tape over the light. If you are reading this, you watched until the end of the video. Smash that like button if you have enjoyed it. Bam. On screen there should be some more videos similar to this. So either go do something else or watch more videos. That's about it. There is no more here. What are you waiting for, a secret message or something? This is not a secret, but subscribe for more videos like this.